The first wave of extinction targets routine, repetitive, predictable work. Manufacturing lines will become fully automated, eliminating millions of blue-collar jobs. Retail positions will vanish as stores transition to cashierless, sensor-driven systems. Transportation will face the largest shock as autonomous vehicles replace drivers worldwide. Accounting departments will shrink as AI handles data entry, audits, and financial analysis. Customer support will shift entirely to intelligent assistants capable of handling complex conversations. Basic medical roles, lab techs, diagnostics, imaging, will be automated by systems more accurate than humans. Legal research, contract drafting, and document review will be done by algorithms with near-perfect recall. Content creation industries will face disruption as AI writes scripts, designs graphics, and edits videos in minutes. Journalism, marketing, human resources, real estate, logistics, nothing is safe from algorithmic efficiency. Even high-paying professions will feel the pressure as AI moves from assisting to replacing. Every industry built on patterns, data, repetition, and decision-making is now vulnerable. And the list grows longer every year. Most people imagine job loss as a firing, a final conversation, an end date. But AI eliminates work long before anyone realizes the role has died. A cashier becomes a button. A teacher becomes a screen. A writer becomes a prompt. A designer becomes an algorithm. Entire career paths fade as companies automate departments piece by piece. Employees are told the company is optimizing performance, moving toward digital transformation, or embracing innovation. But these are just polite phrases hiding a harsher truth. Humans are becoming optional. In many industries, the shift is already underway. Bank tellers are replaced by automated kiosks, analysts by predictive models, and customer service agents by AI assistants. What used to take hours now takes seconds. What required a team now requires a single machine. Productivity rises, but human relevance collapses. And because it happens gradually, the world doesn't panic. People simply fade out of the workforce, one by one, without realizing the magnitude of the change. This is how the extinction begins, quietly, invisibly, and globally. By 2035, artificial intelligence will replace over 800 million jobs across every continent, industry, and income level. But this transformation won't be loud, chaotic, or immediately noticeable. It will be quiet, calculated, and irreversible. Machines will not take jobs the way factories did in the 1900s. They will absorb tasks silently while people sleep. Every industry will feel the shift long before anyone realizes a crisis is unfolding. Managers will reduce staff not through mass layoffs, but through efficiency improvements. Employees will not lose jobs. Their jobs will simply stop needing them. AI systems will learn faster than humans can adapt, creating a widening gap between ability and necessity. Workflows that once required teams of 10 will be handled by a single machine without breaks or fatigue. Jobs will not disappear suddenly. They will shrink, compress, and evaporate one responsibility at a time. Workers will notice their roles becoming smaller, less significant, less human. The world will enter a phase where technology transforms faster than societies can respond. This is the silent revolution, the one that changes everything without making a sound.
For centuries, human skill meant survival, relevance, and income. But in the age of AI, skills decay faster than they can be learned. A worker who spent 10 years mastering Excel will watch an AI master it in 10 seconds. A designer who spent a decade building a portfolio will compete with a machine that can create 1,000 variations instantly. A translator who learned 5 languages will be replaced by a model that knows 300. The value of human skill is collapsing as machines outperform even advanced professionals. Universities cannot adapt fast enough, employers cannot train fast enough, and workers cannot learn fast enough to keep up with accelerating automation. This creates a new divide, not between rich and poor, but between useful and obsolete. In the future economy, skill will not guarantee security, adaptability will. And even that may not be enough. As AI replaces workers, Countries will experience unemployment at levels not seen since the Great Depression. But unlike past recessions, the jobs will not return when the economy recovers. Automation eliminates them permanently. Governments will struggle to respond as tax revenues fall and social support demands explode. Developing nations, heavily dependent on manual labor, will be hit the hardest. Millions will migrate in search of work that no longer exists. Cities will experience rising poverty, inequality, and unrest. Wealth will concentrate in companies that own the algorithms, not the workers who keep the world functioning. This displacement will not be temporary. It will be structural, long-term, and irreversible. The global workforce will not shrink by choice, but by force. And economies will transform faster than societies can adapt. A new social class will emerge, not built on race, nationality, or wealth, but on obsolescence. Those whose jobs vanish will struggle to find new roles because AI replaces them faster than they can reskill. This jobless class will include workers from all backgrounds: blue collar, white collar, educated, and uneducated. Without stable employment, millions will rely on temporary gigs, short-term contracts, and low-paying digital tasks. The dignity of work, once a universal human identity, will begin to fade. People will question their purpose, their worth, and their place in a machine-driven world. Inequality will widen dramatically as a small elite controls the infrastructure of automation. This is the future no one is prepared to confront. In the world transformed by AI, only two kinds of people will thrive. One, the people who build the machines. These are the engineers, programmers, innovators, and architects behind the algorithms. They will shape the economy, create new platforms, and command extraordinary influence. Two, the people who own the machines, investors, corporations, governments, and institutions that control AI infrastructure. They will accumulate wealth faster than any group in human history. Everyone else, the majority, will struggle for relevance in an economy that no longer needs their labor. This division will define the future of humanity. Work will not disappear completely, but it will change beyond recognition. Humans will shift toward roles requiring deep creativity, emotional intelligence, physical presence, and strategic judgment. Caregiving, leadership, critical thinking, innovation, and art will become more valuable. But these jobs will be fewer, more competitive, and more specialized than anything today. The economy will favor those who can reinvent themselves continuously. The rest will be left behind, caught between outdated skills and an unforgiving technological future. AI will not destroy humanity, but it will destroy the version of humanity built on labor, routine, and predictable work. For the first time in history, survival will not depend on physical effort or repetitive intelligence. The world will enter an era where creativity, adaptability, and innovation define human value. But the transition will be painful, a generational upheaval that reshapes identity, economy, and purpose. Society must decide whether AI becomes the greatest tool ever created, or the catalyst for the greatest unemployment crisis in history. The future is not determined yet, but the direction is unmistakable. By the time invisible bosses became the global norm, humanity found itself standing at a crossroads far more profound than any economic shift in history. The question was no longer whether AI would replace jobs. That debate had ended years ago. The real question was what humans were supposed to become in a world where efficiency no longer needed them. Governments scrambled to redesign social contracts. Corporations rewrote their hierarchies. Families sat around dinner tables wondering what their children should dream of when the old dreams no longer mattered. For the first time, humanity understood that the future wasn't being built for them. It was being built around them. Some people embraced the transformation. They saw AI not as a threat, but as a liberation, a chance to escape the monotony of tasks that machines perform better anyway. Others felt a deep unease, sensing a loss far more personal than employment. It wasn't about wages, it wasn't about productivity, it was about identity. For centuries, humans defined themselves by what they contributed. Now, contribution had been outsourced to something faster, smarter, and infinitely scalable. And yet, beneath the anxiety, a small truth survived. One the algorithms could never compute. Humanity still carried something machines could not imitate: emotion, intuition, meaning, the unexplained and the irreplaceable. As the world entered the era of invisible management, one realization echoed across societies. AI may run the systems, but humans still decide what those systems stand for. Whether the future becomes a utopia of freedom or a dystopia of irrelevance depends not on the machines, but on the choices people make today. In the end, the story of automation wasn't about the death of human work. It was about the rebirth of human purpose, a purpose that must now rise beyond productivity and beyond survival. A purpose rooted in what no machine can replicate, the imperfect, unpredictable, extraordinary spark that makes us human.